421. Jackson Willis is shortstop. It is a dangerous order. You see that as a club, they're hitting .330 as a team, 24th highest in the nation. Easton Carmichael, very dangerous in the cleanup spot as the DH leads the team in home runs with 3. Then you got Branch. Toggy's a transfer first baseman who's put up big numbers. Mudler and Willis to wind up the order.
Oh, Ryan Borberg getting his second consecutive start in the midweek. He was solid against LSU, gave up 1 run in the first, nothing the rest of the way, 0-1 with a .257 and ready to go.
First pitch from Borberg. They're on that outside corner for a strike. A walk is a sophomore out of Ackworth, Georgia. He's hit safely in all 10 games. He was out of the lineup on Sunday in the series finale against Cal State Northridge. He's nursing a leg injury, but back in the lineup tonight. And well, what a start he's had to this season. This is an OU team in their first year in the SEC that lost an experienced core from last season. They won the Big 12. They hosted the Norman Regional, but there are a lot of names and faces that they've got to replace. In fact, 6 in their starting lineup that were regulars. John Spiker and Michael Snyder and Bryce Madron are the headliners. All 3 were drafted in the top 10 rounds last season, but Skip Johnson and the Sooners reload with 28 newcomers. So this pitch is high, and Borberg gets himself into trouble here at 3-1.
And Borberg has the 2 different types of fastballs, the 4-seam that'll run, the 2-seamer that'll sink, the slider and the sweeper, but his best pitch probably that splitter. Can't get up behind and give away free bases to this Sooners offense.
Fouls out away, so now it's at 3-2. Walk was a guy that spent quite a bit of time in the lineup last year. 42 games, he hit .281, but he has gotten off to just a blistering start this season. He's one of 5 lefties in the lineup. He's a switch hitter. Borberg's 3-2. Down the line, and will slice foul away from Tom Poole. That wind tonight blows to right field. For left-handed hitters, if they can get the ball up into the air, fly balls are going to be an adventure tonight.
If you're the right fielder, I don't care if the ball's hit to left, you better be ready the way that this wind's blowing. You said gusts up to 45, and I almost did a double take, even though I could see how hard it's blowing out there.
Big pitch from Borberg to the leadoff man, and he walked him. Jason Walk is on at first base. It's the 10th time that he has walked this year. And so now Jackson Willits coming up. Look at this all-time series between DBU and Oklahoma. It's really kind of a tale of 2 stories. All-time, Oklahoma leads 26-18. The first meeting was back in 1978. Now, that's when DBU was an NAIA program. Look at the numbers there as a Division I program for DBU. Since 2004, the Patriots lead this series.
And won 4 out of the last 5. Took both games last year, including a shutout in Norman back in March.
The biggest stage these 2 teams met on was back in 2011, the Fort Worth Regional. DBU's first ever regional win. They had been to the regional for the first time in 08, and then in 11. Not only did they beat Oklahoma, they won the Fort Worth Regional.
And a game that DBU fans will always think of fondly, that having to score late and then ended up winning it in the 10th inning. Tied it in the 9th, and then Chris Haney ends up shutting the door.
It's Jackson Willits here. A check of Walk, who has stolen a team-high 7 bags this year.
Well, they're a team that's going to get off and running. They are 10th in the nation with 33 stolen bases, so Borberg obviously well aware of that.
And he's worked behind. Now at 2-0 to Willits.
He's tried that splitter. He tried it with a 3-2 pitch to Walk, and it just never had enough of the zone to tempt him. And now a couple of times he's tried it to Willits, and it's been too low.
And a hitter's count here at 2-0. Foul back. We talk about the run game numbers. 33 stolen bases, and it's an offense that revolves around Jackson Willits' father. His dad, Reggie, is the associate head coach at Oklahoma. He played for the Sooners back from 02 to 03, and he kind of engineers this offense. It's been 3 consecutive years that they've stolen 100 bases or more, and they are off to a record-setting pace this year. They're a third of the way there as this ball gets away from Kraus, but not far enough.
Yeah, you can see that one took a bite out of Jackson Walk. He's holding that right side as he dove back in and actually ends up saving the Patriots a base. Walk still thought about going to second.
Willett's just a sophomore. Grew up in Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. Two and one downstairs, and for the second straight batter, Borberg has gotten to a 3-ball count.
Yeah, he was 3-1 as well to Jackson Walk. He's not able to control. Everything is missing down right now.
Here's his 3-1, and that's bounced foul, so he's got it to 3-2. So the second straight batter that's worked a full count against Ryan. Guy that was one of the top prospects coming out of the state of Kansas back in his high school days. Really shined as a shortstop as well as a pitcher out of Shawnee Mission Northwest High School. Started his college career at Illinois State, so it was a Division I program. Led the team in wins there as a freshman. And then was at Johnson County Community College last year. Here's his 3-2. And another foul ball.
Yeah, you can see that Walk was off with the pitch, and any instance when you get to a full count, you can pretty much bet that the Sooners are going to be off and running. So, you look back at Borberg's start last week against LSU. It was the leadoff walk and then a double to the second batter before he was able to settle down. You'd love for him to pick up the strikeout here, hit a hard ground ball at somebody.
Willits is putting together an outstanding at bat. That LSU game last week, the numbers that really stood out with LSU, they walk more than they strike out. Same thing you see tonight. This is a team that has a very disciplined approach.
Yeah, that walk to start the game, the 71st of the season for the Sooners, opposite of just the 67 strikeouts. And for Willits, he's only punched out 8 times this year.
Does it again at 3-2, the 15th pitch of this inning for Borberg. Might be 2. Swinney, Graybeck, Kraus, and they turn it over. 7th double play ball of the year, and the battle goes to Ryan Borberg on that one.
Well, that's exactly what we asked for. Hard ground ball at somebody. Right there to second base, and you can see it. This time at 3-2, they elect not to send Jason Walk. Not sure if that would have made a difference there, that play at second base, but DBU, after teetering a little bit, Borberg picks up a couple outs.
Now he faces Trey Gamble, who's batting at .323. Transfer from Salt Lake Community College. He's got a couple of brothers that play at BYU. Comes the 1-0 from Borberg. That one right down Maine. His brother Cade played at BYU, and brother Tate right now that currently plays for the Cougars. Ball and a strike from Borberg, the transfer. He's gotten off to a good start as well. .323 average. That's low.
We talked in just even before the game, but before we even came on with our open, that runs are most likely going to be scored tonight. You just look at the conditions, and balls that are mishit in the air have a chance to go tonight. There's no doubt about that. But for DBU, the key is you've got to limit the free bases. It hurt them immensely in the 2 losses last week, and you don't want to give any extra opportunities than you need to when runs are probably going to be scored at a rapid rate.
That's the 3rd straight batter to open up this ball game that Borberg's gone to a 3-ball count.
This will be his 20th pitch.
That's low. A.J. Wendell behind home plate tonight calls that ball 4. So the second walk. Our umpiring crew, Wendell behind home plate. Scott Chesser at first. Mark Anthony Edwards at second. Rob Walsh over at third. Well, danger time right here with the man on, Easton Carmichael, coming up. This is, without question, the slugger in this lineup in the cleanup spot. Leads the team in home runs with 3 and RBIs with 13. That one stays high from Ryan.
And they've been able to have this success without him hitting for average yet. He's someone throughout the course of his career. That's what he's done. He's the All-American from last year that's back in the lineup. Once that bat gets going 100%, watch out.
Yeah, he hit .366 last year. 7 home runs. Here he lines it down the line. This is going to get a runner to first to third and Gamble. As Narrett gets it back in. So Carmichael moves the runner into scoring position 90 feet away. Sooners have got him on the corners. 2 outs. Sam Christensen, the number 5 hitter, coming up.
Yeah, it's a good piece of hitting there. Fastball at 90 that has that tailing action inside, and not a ball hit particularly hard, but he's able to muscle it out there to right. And then once again, the free pass with 2 outs allows that runner to get over there to third.
So on the corner, Sam Christensen. Talk about a patient hitter right here. 17 walks on the year, and he gets ahead. It's 5th most in the country. Caleb Freeman out of Georgia State leads the nation. He's just 3 ahead of Christensen, but 17 walks, and then look at the average at 357. Another transfer in this lineup. He's from South Mountain Community College in his home state of Arizona.
It really is amazing how much the numbers that you're looking at mimic what we saw last week at LSU. Just a team that's not going to give away at bats. They're going to be patient when they have to, but they can also put some runs on the board. Kel Johnson is going to come have a chat with Ryan Borberg. He's at 24 pitches and behind at 2-0 here. But you know, we had the stat last week at LSU where through the first 5 games of the season, almost half of the runs that DBU allowed reached base initially by a free pass, whether it be a walk, whether it be a hit by pitch or an error. And you thought maybe you would be able to avert that after the double play ball Jackson Willits hit into, but you put yourself in another tough situation here. Now down 2-0 to Sam Christensen.
Second-year pitching coach, Kel Johnson. Maybe just, if anything, one, something that he's seen in the delivery of Borberg, but also give him a break. 24 pitches as you reference. You see the activity headed towards that Patriots bullpen. Some arms getting ready to get loosened up. It's a Patriot bullpen that's got a lot of depth. Trying to figure out some of those roles right now in that bullpen. It's Borberg, transfer. Looks in here to Sam Christensen. The 2-0 is fouled off the front foot. It's an Oklahoma team that we talked about. We saw in the opening graphic in the starting lineup, 25th highest batting average in the country, and the on-base percentage at .446 coming in tonight.
That's top 25 as well. In fact, number 24 in the country.
Borberg tried to skate around trouble, the 2-1. He's a strike away.
He's stuck with the fastball. At times, it won't blow you away. He can get it up to 93, 94 miles an hour, but he's lived about 90, 91. But at 2-2 could be a good time. If that splitter can get working for him, it's a devastating pitch.
At 2-2, struck him out swinging. He went 84 off speed in on the hands of Christensen, and he strikes him out with the slider. Big response from Borberg. He skates around 2 walks. We're going to the home half of the first. Oklahoma is a junior left-hander in Cade Crossland.
Yeah, an extremely talented transfer out of Weatherford College. As you see the numbers, 1-0, the .360 ERA. As he had a start last week, or actually a couple of appearances last week, and was really at his best there in Game 2 of the season. But you see the numbers on his pitches, the fastball, the changeup, and the curveball. It's mainly a fastball changeup to righties. So mix in that breaking ball mainly to left-handed hitters. But he is a talented guy, someone with high expectations in this Oklahoma lineup.
I see the conditions tonight. Cloudy, cool, windy. Here's a look at that Oklahoma defense. Gamble, Walk, Christensen. In the outfield, Willits, Branch, and Taki across the diamond. Muller, the catcher, and Cross on the mound, who was last pitched 11 days ago against Oregon State. He picked up the win in the first pitch, outside ball 1 to Humphreys. As Crossland, one of the most sought-after left-handers. In fact, D1 Baseball rating him the number 41 prospect for the MLB draft. And there he gets one over it, 1-1.
Also had him as the #1 JUCO transfer in the nation. Mason Peters for the Patriots was also top 5 on that list.
You know, we've seen all 3 in the last week. Crossland you talk about, Peters, and then from LSU. LSU had #2 on that list. And Connor Ware, who started last Wednesday night in that game. Patriots lost 7-3 to the Tigers at Globe Life, as this is going to get out. Dawson Willis gave it a look. You can't give up on anything tonight.
Especially balls that are hit that way, and that's a smart play by Willis. Because off the bat, you're thinking, okay, there's no way that's coming back. But with the wind up to gust of 45 miles an hour blowing out towards right, that ball could easily come back.
He strikes out Humphries, 92 on the express to Humphries, and there's one out quickly in the Patriots first.
Yeah, we're told about 91, 93 on that fastball. Breaking ball on the changeup, but able to get the strikeout.
Well, here's Grant Jay, one of the all-time great home run hitters in Patriot history, and he is tied with Duncan McAlpine coming in tonight. What's amazing is he's only done this in 2+ years. McAlpine and Listy, the all-time leader. Each 4-year guys, Listy, the all-time leader with 53.
We saw it in the opening that he nearly had number 49 on an inside the park home run. He nearly passed Duncan McAlpine, who was the record holder for a few years.
Swing and a miss. He's done it every other way. He's hit majestic blasts. He hit one against LSU the other night, 430 feet. He's hit walk-off home runs. The only one that he doesn't have under his ledger is inside the park.
He came close, a couple of steps. I guess you could maybe say he ran through a stop sign. It was a late stop sign over at third, but I didn't want Jay to stop. I wanted him to push and try to get there.
Comes in with the 6th highest slugging percentage in the country. And a line drive base hit. Opposite field over Taki. Well, it's not just the power from Jay. He is a guy that sprayed the ball all over the yard and gets a base hit.
Came in with that 425 average, is on base right at 500. And that's been the biggest thing for Grant Jay this year. And you started to really see it last season as well. But he's just turning into a complete hitter. Good swing, staying inside, going the other way, and hitting it at 104 miles an hour right over Dayton Taki.
Brings Tom Poole to the plate. Poole had a tough series in Tulsa. He did have a home run game 1, but scuffled a little bit after that. But a guy that's just has been a consistent hitter throughout his career, 341 average, 3rd highest on the team coming in tonight. If he gets a chance to pull something into right field tonight, then he could add to the home run totals. He has 2.
It'll be tough with the lefty Crossland. Only 3 lefties in this lineup for the Patriots tonight.
Swings and misses off speed from Crossland at 85.
And this is where he really does feel like he can use all 3 of those pitches. So he wants to come in on you, maybe the change. He wants you to swing and a miss, maybe that slider.
Popped him up. Nothing routine. This is the second baseman in Branch who grabs it. So 2 gone and the Patriots first.
How do you prepare for a win like this? It's not like you can really replicate it in practice. You got to take as many as you can in BP before the game. You can sort of see where that ball starts when it goes up. And Branch just keeps moving to his left. He's almost standing on first base.
It's a wind advisory tonight that is expected to be in effect until 9 o'clock. We start at 6, so, I mean, what you figure to be an entire ball game. It's Chayton Krause, the cleanup hitter for DBU.
I don't know about you, but it sounded like a train was going through my house this morning at about 5 a.m.
We had alarms going off, the sirens at 4:30 this morning.
It's a frightening way to wake up.
Krause to right field and deep. Christensen to the wall. Pats on top, 2-0 on Krause's first home run as he goes opposite field.
Well, he got it up in the jet stream tonight. He did hit it 105 miles an hour off the bat, so not a cheapie by any stretch of the imagination. And that's got to feel like the weight of the world's off his shoulders. One of your best power hitters coming back from last year. He gets his first of the season.
Boy, a great swing from Chayton on that outside corner.
But that looks just like the ones at Oklahoma State last year, doesn't it? That inside-out swing.
Hit 2 of them at Stillwater that night. Opposite field. Now Michael DiTallo. Dalla and Croston were teammates this past summer in the Cape Cod League. Dottie playing in Hyannis along with Crossland. He fouls it back. Dottie had a great summer in the Cape. He was on the All-Star team, hit .295. So he knows the book on Crossland. Be a great matchup here at 1-1. Well, that might have been a pitch that if Mudler squeezes it, might be a strike.
I think 100% it is. That looked to get every part of the bottom of the zone.
It's a little different look tonight for fans who followed our broadcast. The platform out in center field, it's just not safe to be on tonight up above that batter's eye with the wind blowing the way it is. So unfortunately, you're going to be blocked. Right now, the strike zone is being blocked by Mark Anthony Edwards.
Could we ask him to maybe take 2 steps to his left?
We're fortunate to have that shot that's from up high, but not tonight. Deep of the hole, it's short. Willett's going to try to play the turf, and Taki gets it on a couple of bounces, and that ends the inning. But Shaden Krause gets the party started for DBU. A 2-run blast. This one to right field. There might be a lot hit to right field tonight. Pats get on the board early. They lead it 2-0.
At DBU.
Time, Oregon State, number 7. They're actually the only 2 teams they've played with a winning record prior to tonight. But, boy, it was one of the most impressive weekends at those round-robin types of tournaments that we saw this season.
First pitch to Kyle Branch. It'll be Branch, Taki, and Mudler. Yeah, they're going to see the best opponents and the toughest opponents in college baseball when they get to conference in the SEC. But it's impressive. Yeah, they go to Round Rock, play some quality teams as Branch bounces this to Dalla. He's got it. Throw high, but Krause there. One gone. But they are chasing history right now. Oklahoma, with that 11-0 start, the 2011 team has the best record or best start to a season. They won their first 16 games. SOU squad tonight out looking for their 12th consecutive win. Take a look at the teams here. 98, they started 12-0, so tied right now for the 3rd best start in program history at 11-0. And those 3 other teams all advancing to the regionals.
Well, you can see Michael Dalla behind Borberg. He was going to the right side initially to potentially have the overshift on. Then he started to go back. Then his hat blew off. So they didn't want Taki thinking about potentially laying one down here.
This is another big-time sign for Oklahoma and a transfer from the junior college ranks. You see 3 as you see Dottie now moving over to that right side. 3 JUCO transfers that have been big signs for them. Taki, one of them in the lineup from Weatherford Junior College. That's just off the corner. He had a 4-for-4 day with a triple and 2 RBIs on Saturday against Cal State Northridge. It was all conference last year for a Weatherford Junior College team that finished 3rd at the Division I Junior College World Series. Big time pop right here from Taki. Baseball family, his dad played at Tarleton State, his father Dwayne. Borberg trying to put him away at 2-2. Fouled off again.
Yeah, stayed with the fastball at 92. Haven't seen the plus splitter that was really working for him last week against LSU.
After that double he gave up to Jared Jones, he just really settled in. He was so sharp through 4 on a big stage against an LSU team now number 1. There's strike 3 on the outer half. Borberg's got his 2nd strikeout of the night.
Hard to tell exactly which pitch that was. Almost looked like a slider that backed up on him a little bit. But gets the call.
Taki strikes out for the 10th time this year. Scott Mudler now the catcher. He gets the start tonight behind the dish. He's hit safely in 5 of the 6 games that he's started. You'll see him and Easton Carmichael tonight. Carmichael, the DH. You're not going to take Carmichael's bat out of the lineup. He is, without question, the power source of this lineup. But Mudler behind home plate tonight. He does have 1 home run on the season. That came against Oregon State down in Round Rock. This one right into that shift. Swinney. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Great work by Borberg on a shutdown inning here in the second. Through an inning and a half, it was Chase Krause's home run that's got DBU on top early.
A massive plus in that Sunday roll.
Take a look at Schwade. He'll get the ball more than likely on Sunday in Lafayette. DBU takes on Louisiana this weekend. Big one tonight, though, against 10th ranked Oklahoma. Depending on what poll you're looking at, Oklahoma as high as number 10 in the 5 major polls. 13 in D1. DBU number 21 in DBU, as high as 17 in the National Collegiate Baseball Writers poll. It's Joey Narrett at the plate right now. He's had a terrific start to the season. Finding his way into the lineup this year as an everyday starter. Here he scalds it up the middle on a base hit. Pats get their 3rd hit of the night off of Crossland. It's the leadoff man that gets to first base, and Joey Narrett.
A fastball 91, bottom of the zone. It leaves the bat at 100 miles an hour for Narrett, who just has been so consistent this season. We've seen flashes the first 2 years, but his first 3.5 weeks of the year, it's been his most consistent stretch he's had in his career.
Jaden Krause now. First pitch. I say Krause Bennett right here. 238 average. He's built like Krause.
Yeah, but
big, strong kid.
You could call them brothers if you're just looking from afar.
He's got the 2 home runs, one that he hit at LSU. And as long as a home run you're going to see all season long. Hit it 437 feet to left.
112 miles an hour off the bat. Got the Pats back in the ballgame. He just looks angry when he's at the plate. He's up there with some bad intentions.
He's out of Louisville, Kentucky, a product of St. Xavier High School. Narrett at first base has got good speed. He's tied for the team lead in stolen bases with 4. Patriots as a team have stolen 18. They're much like Oklahoma in the last 3 or 4 years, really since Cliff Pennington's arrival. They want to put pressure on the base pass. Oklahoma, I think, is taking it to another level. 33 on the season. And Narrett's got good wheels. There's a massive cut by Bennett, 1 and 2.
He's been Tom Poole, the most successful in the steal department. I'd love to see him on the move, maybe get him in a scoring position, see if Bennett can do something with that.
That wind has not died down a touch. 28 to 30 miles per hour tonight, gust up to 45. Got a pitch clock violation on Crossland. So it'll put it at 2 and 2.
Seen a handful of those this season. I think we might have seen more already this year than I remember seeing last year.
Outside, Bennett has worked it full. First 3-ball count from Crossland.
Like the shot over there at first, his former JUCO teammate and Dayton Taki giving him a deep breath, saying, hey, calm down a little bit.
Narrett digs out a little bit bigger of a lead at first base. The 3-2 is bounced low for a ball. Boy, Bennett has shown great patience. It's his 5th walk opposite of 3 strikeouts. First walk issued tonight by Crossland. DBU threatening in the second. They've got first and second. The number 8 hitter, Mason Swinney, coming up.
And for a guy that swings with that much, ferociousness, and Bennett doesn't strike out a ton, only the 3 strikeouts, and I think Crossland was hoping to take advantage of his aggressiveness, tried to change up down, and Bennett able to lay off.
Mason Swinney, might expect to see him put one down right here. They're pinched on the corners, expecting a possible bunt. Does not show there and takes low for a ball. Swinney got his first hit as a Patriot on Sunday. Most notably, he stole home on a double steal. It proved to be a crucial run. Patriots won 6-5. Transfer from Alabama, where he was with the Crimson Tide the last 2 years. He was in the starting lineup the first month of the season at Alabama last year. Reached safely in the first 13 games. Kind of became a part-time starter after that. Here he swings and goes to a knee. And he's trying to replace some big-time shoes. In fact, he wears the same number as Miguel Santos, number 3. Patriots, one of the great second basemen to come through the program. 3-year starter.
Took some time to get used to not writing his name in that lineup.
Right. It's Swinney. He's got the making of a two-way star. Here he loops it into shallow center. Walk is there. Bennett's got to get back to first base. He does, as Taki had vacated the bag, so it was easy for Bennett to get back. He was way off the bag, but that ball falling harmlessly in the glove of Walk.
I'm not sure if we're able to see it or not, but he actually ran into Taki. You see that collision right there, and Bennett almost has to shove him to use some leverage to get back to first base.
So 2 large humans colliding right there, and Bennett and Taki.
I don't think either one would walk away from a fight.
Bennett 6'2", 231. Taki 6'2", 227. Cody Graybeck right at the shortstop, and Cody shows bunt there. How good was he this past weekend in this type of situation? More so, you got one out right here, so not necessarily maybe a bunt situation. Could be right here with Cody. Just the way he handles the bat. He came up with 2 huge sack bunts on Sunday.
Yeah, plays an outstanding shortstop. And as your number 9 hitter, it's not always typical now. It's more of a traditional bottom of the order guy trying to lay some bunts down. It's been a boost in that lineup over the last week or so.
He's making his 5th start of the year. And it's to 2 strikes on him at 1 and 2. Yeah, the last 2 games at Oral Roberts, he had the 2 sack bunts, an RBI, he stole a bag, he played solid short. A ball and 2 strikes to Cody Graybeck. Stays alive. Top of the order's on deck, and Nate Humphries got the first 2 on to begin this inning. Swinney at the soft fly to center, and now Graybeck at 1 and 2. Drops it in there for strike 3. Great pitch from Crossland. He gets his 2nd strikeout. And now there's 2 gone. After the first 2 reads, he's retired the last 2. On that off-speed offering from Crossland.
Yeah, just dots the outside corner. Really difficult. Tall guy, tall lefty on the mound. You got Graybeck from the left side. I mean, sort of trying to do what Ryan Borberg did in the top of the first. Get into a little bit of trouble, but pitch your way out of it.
Nate Humphries. Hump struck out on a fastball on the outside corner his last time up. Crossland has got him at 0 and 2 now. Hey, go back to that first inning. Ryan Borberg looked to be in all sorts of troubles. Walked the leadoff man, but got the double play ball. Then gave up the walk, the single, but the huge strikeout of Christensen. Then 3 up and 3 down in the second. Humphries sprays it foul. And with Borberg, you're hoping tonight that he can settle in, maybe give you 4. Gave you 4 against LSU. Possible 5 if he's, I think right now that you look at just the pitch count.
Well, it helped having, after a 27-pitch first inning, he only threw 10 in the second. So he's almost right back on track.
See Branch right there just talking about how to play this wind. Up to 30 miles per hour right now, blowing to right field as Humphries continues to battle.
I mean, we've seen Crossland rear back and fire it here. The last 2 are at 95 miles an hour.
It's a difficult proposition, especially for a left-handed hitter. Oh, 2, and he flails at it. Muddler's got it. Throw to first and gets Humphries. That ends the inning. He went off speed at 83 down and away. So the Pats get the first 2 on, but nothing to show for it. We've played 2 in Dallas, and DBU on top, 2-0.
Minor leagues. His uncles played in the majors. His cousin played for the Seattle Mariners organization. His brother also played Division I baseball. And Cody tells me everything they do in his family really revolves around baseball, and it's something that's brought up very often at the dinner table.
All right, thanks, Alexis. As yeah, he's been in that starting lineup now for 3 consecutive games. Really, he had also turned into an everyday defensive replacement, if you will, late in ball games. They really trust his glove up the middle. He's playing behind Ryan Borberg, facing the number 9 hitter in Dawson Willis. Starts him with a strike. Willis, a 256 hitter. Is a tall and lanky 6'4", 184 in his junior season. There's that split finger. That's really one of the best ones that we've seen. It acts sort of like a changeup, but just with more movement. Went 1-2-3 in the second after escaping damage in the first, and he's trying to quickly get Dawson Willis here. And yeah, anytime you have the pin starting to move around a little bit in the first, get a little worried on a midweek, but Borberg got it back on the tracks and hoping to go a little bit deeper in this one. 1-2 to Willis. He got him swinging. Goes back to the split finger. So Borberg has got his 3rd strikeout.
Well, he didn't have a feel for it in the first inning, but he does now. And this is his best pitch. The arm speed tells you fastball, but that splitter right there just falls out of the zone. And a great pitch right there from Borberg, who's got, 3 strikeouts through 2 1/3.
Jason Walk thought that was inside as he showed bunt. But the call goes against him. And it's 0-1. Walk started the ball game with a free ticket. He was erased on the double play ball hit by Jackson Willits, who's in the on-deck circle. He bounces this one to the right side. Swinney is there. Yeah, made it a close play over at first base. Krause able to hold the bag, but we can't take anything for granted with Walk going down that first base line, but there's 2 away, and I think Chaden's got a look on his face like, come on, man.
Well, one, Chaden is as good a defensive first baseman in the country, but this is all Mason Walk, or Jason Walk. I think just the pressure he puts on a defender as he runs up the line. Swinney knows he's got great speed at that left-handed batter's box. It's a routine grounder. You got to love the hustle you see right there from Walk. A lot of guys would not do that.
And luckily the hand there, that's what I was also concerned about.
Yeah.
As here's Jackson Willits, is that right hand nearly got stepped on by Walk as he went across the first base bag. But all's well that ends well. The Patriots get the second out. It's 6 in a row retired for Borberg, and Jackson Willits into his 3rd double play ball back in the first. Had a home run on opening day against Lehigh, and his other 2 games came in, or other 2 home runs came in back-to-back games. One against a top 10 team in Virginia, and then against Texas Southern. And Borberg now has him at a ball and 2 strikes. He's allowed the 1 hit. He walked 2 in the first. Trying to retire 7 straight, beginning with the final out of the first inning. He got him. He's found the fill for the splitter. Another 1-2-3 inning, 7 in a row, sat down by Ryan Borberg. There's the latest. It's 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Play game 1 of 2 here this season. It's Grant Jay who singled the right field back in the first. He's now got a 7-game hit streak, and he's reached in all 12 games to begin the year. Good change up there to begin the at-bat to Grant Jay. We mentioned the overall record, these 2 teams, and then the Patriots with a 5-game advantage in the Division I era. DBU went on a run that started in 2011. Jay fouls this one off. At one point, the Patriots had won 8 consecutive against the Sooners. That included 5 games in Norman. But then they had lost back-to-back games there at Eldell Mitchell Oklahoma started to get the best of the Patriots, but they've now won DBU 4 of the last 5, including both games last year against the Sooners. The wind's not like this, but I feel like every time we do go to Oklahoma, you've got some crazy weather.
Yeah, you do.
We never had the opportunity to go later in the year because obviously conference play. Jay's gone on strikes. Copeland pitched him backwards, started him with the soft stuff, then goes with the fastball elevated, and he picks up his 3rd straight strikeout and his 4th of the day.
Yeah, you're seeing 2 guys that just have got an assortment of pitches. And for Crossland, hey, talk about him pitching backwards. You see the changeup from him, the curveball, and it takes some guts to go fastball against Jay, but where he does right there is he keeps it up above the letters. Feels like he can get the swing and miss and the chase pitch, and he did.
Here's Tom Poole. Nearly takes that one in the right shoulder. He popped out to second base his first time up. Now, Reagan mentioned it was a rough week for Tom. He went 2 for 17, did have the home run against ORU. In fact, both of its hits came on Friday against Oral Roberts. He's ahead here at 2 balls and no strikes. He entered last week against LSU with his average, albeit early, right at 500. It's at 333 right now. And he's up 3-0. Close pitch that Sooner dugout wanted. As the junior in Crossland in danger of putting a man on for the man who took him deep back in the first. Chayton Krause awaits. Ball 4. Not close there, and so Tom is on. That's his team leading 11th walk of the season. And here comes Chayton.
You know, you got a guy on at first base and Poole who runs as good as anyone on this team. Tied for the team in stolen bases with 4. On a night like this, you would think that a lot of runs are going to be scored tonight. Here's the only 2 runs that have been scored is the Krause home run, the 2-run blast. And this is what you're thinking you're going to see a lot of tonight. I don't know. I mean, here we are in the 3rd inning and it's 2-0. Do you push the envelope a little bit right here with Poole? It's tougher to get a jump on the lefty in Crossland.
And Krause again in the air to right field, and given up immediately is Christensen. His 2nd of the night. Chayton responsible for all 4 runs. And a 4-0 head start for the Pats.
Well, that one needed no help. What a blast from Krause. A titanic shot to right field, opposite field. And, well, that dugout's going to erupt. What a night he's having. First pitch, and he was hunting it. Take a look at what he got right here. That's a breaking ball, down and away. Either the curveball right there, outside corner, maybe the change that fades. And watch Chayton just enjoy this one. Big time swing from number 19.
Well, that one 109 miles an hour off the bat, 406 feet. The first one 105 off the bat. And yeah, you can see Christensen giving up pretty quickly on that one, well beyond the trees in right field. Well, now it's Dottie who is quickly behind at 0-2. So it had been 3 straight strikeouts prior to the walk. And he's able to bounce back here and get to Tallo. He goes changeup, and that one just falls away from Dottie. And so there is the 2nd out of the inning. So everyone not named Chayton Krause has had some trouble against Crossland, but Chayton, 2 2-run home runs coming in homerless today.
Look at that change, how it runs right there, arm side away from Tatalo. There's Narrett, who got a nice base hit up the middle last time he faced the lefty.
He'll take for strike 1. Joey was stranded at second base. He's got a modest now 4-game hit streak. He's got that average back over 400. Had hits in all 3 games against ORU. And he sends this one to left, chasing it, and not able to get there is Gamble. And Narrett with an aggressive turn at first, but smartly heads back, and a 2-out knock and a 2-hit day for Joey.
He's another one that's using all fields. You know, his home run the other night at Oral Roberts was an opposite field blast. He's hit doubles down the line. He's obviously got pull side power. But here he goes with the pitch. It's down and away as Crossland tries to bury something on the corner. That's just a great piece of hitting and going down and getting something and being able to take that to left field.
So 2 away for Jake Bennett, who worked a walk in the second. And he takes a first pitch fastball, 91 miles an hour for Crossland. That was pitch number 58 of the day. Oklahoma pen is at least moving. No one's throwing. There's one reliever that's starting to jump rope a little bit, getting loose. Big swing and a miss there by Bennett. Every time he swings it, he looks like he's going to fall to one knee, a la Adrian Beltre. The transfer from San Jac. And he's gone on the fastball. So 6 strikeout for Cade Crossland, but not before another 2-run home run from Chayton Krause. His second of the day. He's got 4 RBIs, and the Patriots have a 4-0 lead as we make our way to the 4th.
That he can go to. A lot of arms, very impressive, much like this Oklahoma team with an ERA that's in the top 10. How about Texas A&M? They had been the #1 team first couple of weeks of the college baseball season, 3 weeks, and then they really faltered last week. They're outside the top 10 almost every poll, but they're #2 of the National Collegiate Baseball Writers poll, which I thought was interesting.
There's strike one.
They're sticking with the Aggies.
To Trey Gamble. Yeah, pretty much the consensus #1 to begin the season. Yeah, 6-4. They had a 4-game losing streak after starting hot at 5-0. They were able to end that. Beat Rice on Sunday, but lost to Cal Poly, Texas State, Arizona, and Oklahoma State in succession. 0-2 the count to Gamble, who walked his first time up. As Borberg wobbled in the first, he sat down 7 in a row. 4 strikeouts, the last 2 on the splitter. And in the driver's seat here, and also after 27 pitches in the first, he just now hits half a century mark. This one hit on the nose, and a leaping play by Mason Swinney. He uses every bit of that 6-foot frame to climb the ladder and record out #1.
Oh, he's positioned perfectly. Right where he is, pull side against the left-hander, but the rest is up to him. That's great athleticism from Swinney. #1, but that is just for Cliff Pennington, knowing your scouting reports and where guys are going to hit it. Swinney was in the perfect spot.
Here's Easton Carmichael, who swings and misses as Schwade starts him off speed. Carmichael named the preseason Golden Spikes wash list. He was a 3rd-team All-American last year and a freshman All-American in 2023. That one called a strike. It popped out of the mid of Grant J. In fact, I thought back in the first inning, Cade Crossland didn't get a call because Scott Mulder dropped it behind the plate, but the Patriots do get that call. 0-2. Carmichael, the last to reach against Borberg, and the single back in that first inning. But now 8 straight sat down. Lowest average of Carmichael's career, but it's on the climb. It's at 293. At 1-2, he's able to lay off the splitter. It still leads the team in home runs and RBIs. Originally from the Metroplex from Prosper, Texas. 2-2 staying alive. And the son of a former Oklahoma Sooner. His dad was a catcher at OU, 92, 93. See that one off the fist a little bit from Carmichael. His brother Brandon was a pitcher at Oklahoma, 21 through 23. And here he swings and misses. Off speed from Borberg to pick up his 5th strikeout. He sat down 9 straight.
Well, for a guy who was laboring with command through the first 3 batters tonight, he has really settled into a groove. That one just had a little sink on it to Carmichael.
Yeah, I said off speed, but I think he just took a little off the fastball.
I think so, too. He's got a 4-seamer. He's got a 2-seamer. That had to have been the 2-seamer. It's got more sink to it. He placed it perfectly right there against Carmichael. It's got a tunnel well. You think, too, with a splitter and then a 4-seamer, and then you throw that. That's tough.
Trying to go 1-2-3 again. It's Sam Christensen who bounces this one foul. Christensen was the first strikeout victim of Borberg, and it ended the first inning. Oklahoma had the leadoff man on and then had runners at first and third with 2 outs. And Christensen was up 2-0 before Borberg came back. In fact, you think Patriots could put that on the resume for Cale Johnson. He comes out at 2-0, and since then, Borberg has been perfect. 2-1 to the left-handed hitting Christensen. Off speed there. 2-2. Christensen from Mesa, Arizona, one of the transfers here at Oklahoma. 2 years at South Mountain Community College in Phoenix. Trying to keep the inning alive. Swing and a miss, another strikeout. Ryan Borberg stuck on automatic right now. Heading to the bottom of the 4th inning. He's retired 10 straight, and it's 4-0 Patriots. This day, March the 4th of 2021, the Patriots at the Frisco Classic. And they played a classic there in that first ball game, able to come back and beat Missouri. They would beat them again the next day and go 3-1 weekend in Frisco. As here is Mason Swinney to start things off in the bottom of the 4th, 4-0 Patriots. What a team that was in 2021. That ball game too was special. Swinney fouls this one away. Now at 0-2. Patriots were down. In fact, they were shut out going into the 8th inning. And Jackson Glenn with a 2-out double made it 3-2 Patriots, and then the first career save of Zane Russell. Began that year with a save, and he's been the only Patriot to record a save in a super regional, as he did that in game 1 that year. Swinney fouls this one away.
It was a weekend that just really kind of set the tone for the year. It had some ups and downs that year, but that one right there, you saw how talented that Patriot club could be. And it was just the beginning of Zane's, of what was really an outstanding career.
Swinney swing and a miss for strike 3. So 7 strikeouts for Crossland, who has been, oh, excuse me, I guess got a piece of it. I had started writing it down, but he got a piece. Excuse me. Stop getting ahead of yourself.
Just the way these two guys are dialed in, other than what Chayton Krause has been able to do to Crossland, I mean, he has been superb as well.
Good-looking breaking ball there. He stays up in the zone this time, and a slow roller to short. Willis on the run has got it, no problem. And so that only cost Crossland 1 extra pitch, and 1 away in the 4th. And Cody Graybeck is coming up, and we talked about Cody's family. Here's the ground ball here to short. And his uncle Craig Graybeck has quite a story.
14 years in the big leagues. I think, you know, if you're a big baseball fan, particularly in the 80s, that last name Graybeck, his dad had a great professional career as well, Brian. And then if you followed White Sox baseball, I think he played 4 different teams. But yes, his uncle, Craig Graybeck, was a great shortstop, third baseman in his days in the big leagues.
Cody here swings and misses 0-2.
It's funny, we had Zane Russell, that picture of him. You think about Zane's family, the way there's some baseball royalty that he comes from. And same thing with Cody. Well, that is as rich a baseball family that you can find.
Graybeck grounds this one to first on a couple of hops. Dayton Taki has got it. And there's 2 away. Well, we've talked about Craig Graybeck, but how about we show you instead his first career home run, 1990. Who do you think it came against? None other than Nolan Ryan.
That's deep, way back. Picks up, put it on the board. A 3-run homer for Craig Graybeck. The Sox lead it 3-0. Yes!
Great Hawk Harrelson there on the call. As 0-1 to Nathan Humphries. And yeah, I'm sure you're going to remember your first home run no matter what, but to do it off of the great Nolan Ryan.
Hall of Famer.
How do you keep your composure going around the bases?
It's a great story behind that. You know, Ozzie Guillen, the next man up, they go back-to-back, next pitch. Well, Nolan Ryan, the next time the White Sox come to Arlington, Graybeck's up first time, Ryan drills him in the side. It's a fastball.
About 100 miles an hour on that fastball.
He didn't forget. You ever find...
He never forget.
No, there's highlights from that game. The White Sox got even, and then the benches cleared. When Steve Buechele was hit by a pitch, then it just erupted.
And that is probably just the second most famous brawl between those two teams.
Yep.
Of course, a few years later, it would be Nolan Ryan and the White Sox and Robin Ventura. 2-2 to Nathan Humphries. Here it is, or excuse me, 3-1 to Humphries. Here it is 4-0 DBU. A pair of 2-run shots to right field from Chayton Krause. Crossland fires, and this one is poked into left for a base hit, and Humphries couldn't have placed it any better. He's going to motor into second. He's got a double. That ball only hit 68 miles an hour off the bat, but as soon as it landed, he was being told to hustle to second base, and he picks up his 7th double of the season. Excuse me, his 5th double of the season.
Man, tough pitch right here. This comes in on the hands. And with a left-hander up, Dawson Willis, the third baseman's off the line. You know, if he's a step to his right, he makes that play easily. Instead, Hump's got himself a 2-bagger, and you got another runner in scoring position.
Kyle Branch smartly keeping that tag on Humphries in case he popped off the bag a little bit. And with Grant J here, they're going to, first of all, intentionally walk Grant J, and then they're going to go to the bullpen. Skip Johnson, 8th-year head coach, pitching guru, comes out, and he has already made the signal. As I believe Gavin Jones was who was up and warming. So Patriots have a 4-0 lead after the intentional walk to Grant J. 2 on, 2 out. Gavin Jones coming in out of the bullpen, another lefty. He will face Tom Poole on the other side of this break. Third is not allowed a run.
Yeah, those numbers are off, aren't they? Yeah, Jones' stuff has been good. 0 ERA, 4 1/3.
As we have seen Jones against an opportunity on the mound. Now for the 4th time here for Oklahoma. Two-way player. He's had a little bit of time in the field as well, but he's pitched against Lehigh, went 2 1/3, most impressively against Virginia in the Round Rock Classic, that 12-inning win. And then his last appearance against Cal State Northridge last Friday, he went an inning. There he also did not allow a run. So he inherits a runner at first and another runner at second base, and he will face Tom Poole. As Crossland is done, Gavin Jones is in. Poole walked on 4 pitches his last time. And the first pitch is down and away for ball 1. And for Jones on the mound, he's got the fastball up to 94 miles an hour, a cut fastball, and then a changeup. Looks back at second base. Big spot for the Patriots, trying to blow it open early in this ball game as Poole fouls it away. And you know that Skip Johnson does not want to face Chayton Krause with either a run in or the bases loaded. Much rather see him start off the 5th because Krause has left the yard twice. His last 2 swings, 2-run home runs to right.
And against this lefty right here, he's primarily fastball cutter. Don't really see much of a changeup against left-handers.
And Poole finds a hole into left field. They're going to send Humphries home. A chance for Gamble. His throw is cut off. 2 out, knocking an RBI for Tom Poole, and the Patriots at a 5th run, 5-0.
Now let's be on time to the fastball. And Tom Poole is. He goes opposite field with it. Great piece of hitting. Here's the fastball, and it's down and away. That's not a bad pitch from Jones. And watch this cut right here. Gamble's got this ball in shallow left. Cliff Pennington sent him the whole way. I'm a little surprised Dawson Willis didn't make an attempt to come home. It may have gone Humphrey's way, but I think it could have been close.
Yeah, he had to make the cut because the throw wasn't going to make it in time from left. But, yeah, I think you turn and fire, and you at least got a play potentially at play. Here's Chayton Krause. And, yeah, not near the zone here. As twice he has gone deep to right. 2-run shot with 2 outs in the first. 2-run shot with 1 out in the third. His first 2 home runs of the season. And all of a sudden, he's got 15 RBIs. 1-0 count to Chayton. Couple runners on base. There goes the double steal. The throw to third. Jay is safe. Outstanding jump from Grant Jay. Following behind him, Tom Poole.
That has everything to do with timing. And, boy, this is a terrific jump by Jay. There's really not much that a catcher and mother can do. It'll go against him. We look at his caught stealing numbers, but that is just Grant Jay getting a jump on Gavin Jones.
And now Krause into right field. RBI number 5 for Chayton. RBI number 6 will follow. Chayton is having himself a night. And the Patriots have now got themselves a 6-0 lead.
Well, against this Oklahoma team, you got to pile it on because they are dangerous. And they can score in bunches. And Krause is having a career night. 6 RBIs, 2 home runs, and then you see the power to the right side on the 2 hits, the home runs. How about him going on base hit to the right side? It's wide open right there with Branch kind of leaning towards second a little bit more with the right-hander up. 7-0 lead now.
Now Dalla in the air, right center field. This ball's got a chance. Walk is back, so is Christensen, and Dottie goes deep. It is all Pats here in the 4th inning. It's 9-0.
Another big blast to right. Boy, Krause and Dalla, who came into this game without home runs on the season, you knew it was only a matter of time. Those are 2 guys that are going to put up power numbers in the heart of the order. And Dottie goes deep into right center field. First pitch he sees. Pats are pouring it on now.
Yeah, they've used the wind, but also every one of these balls has been hit at least 105 miles an hour. That's left the yard as Joey Narrett fouls it back. For Dalla, his first homer of the year, he hit it 105 off the bat. It's RBI 6 and 7. And a 5 spot in the 4th. Also for Chayton Krause, the single to right was actually the hardest hit ball that he's had tonight at 110 miles an hour. Joey, who has been on twice, a couple of singles himself. A lot of work to do, but first 4 innings have gone spectacularly if you are a Patriot fan. The base is now empty. 5 runs in here in the 4th. And Gavin Jones a swing and a miss. So final line for Copeland tonight, not a pretty one. He gives up 6 runs, all of them earned. And 3 2/3 on the mound. 1-2 pitch, Narrett takes away. 3 of the 5 runs in this inning belonged to Gavin Jones. He inherited runners at first and second. Double still helped bring home a run on a single, and then Dalla's 2-run shot. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Jones is able to put an end to the inning. But the Patriots make some noise as they pick up 5 runs on 4 hits. Chayton Krause with a 2 RBI single to right field. He's got 6 on the night. And it follows suit. Dalla with his first of the season.
Sirianni
Lost one of the best players in the country to the draft, Walker Yannick. One of the top catchers to go last season in the draft, and has had a hard time replacing him. Lost 4 straight and 7 games under 500 already.
So here's Borberg, who's going to face Kyle Branch. Oh, we talked about Craig Graybeck, the uncle of Cody and just the family lineage of Cody. Well, Kyle Branch is at the plate. He comes from a baseball family as well. For more on Kyle's story, let's send it down to Alexis.
Thanks, Reagan. He's a true freshman who's truly made a name for himself in college baseball in these first few weeks. Kyle Branch has been dominating on the field and holds the second highest hitting percentage on his team. He grew up with an older brother, Colby Branch, who also plays Division I baseball, and he started his career over at Baylor, where he led in almost all offensive categories, and now he's in his second season at Georgia. When asked about Kyle, Colby said he couldn't be more proud of him. He mentioned some of his best memories were playing second and shortstop together in their high school playoffs, facing off against now star lefty at Texas A&M, Ryan Prager. And now these two brothers are playing at the highest level of college baseball, and I'm sure they're going to have a split house here in a few weeks when they get to face off against each other.
Yeah, thanks, Alexis. Yeah, they'll see each other, Oklahoma and Georgia, later this season. But what a freshman year that Kyle's brother Kobe had at Baylor. We saw Kobe 2 years ago at Baylor. Phenomenal freshman season. What Kyle's doing right now as a freshman, if he continues this trajectory, he'll be the second freshman All-American in that family.
Yeah, without a doubt. And he nearly beat out an infield single there that would have broken up a stretch of 10 straight retired by Ryan Borberg. In fact, I think everyone was looking at the first base coach, Todd Butler, to say, hey, do we need to ask for a review? And he just shook his head no. So a really nice play there at second base.
11 in a row set down by Ryan Borberg. Here's Dayton Taki. Into shallow left. Tom Poole makes it 12 in a row. Well, if this is what you're going to get from a Tuesday night guy in Ryan Borberg, and you're going to play some big-time competition on Tuesday nights, these games right here are so vital, the Patriots' schedule. Look at Oklahoma in the SEC. Their schedule's going to take care of itself. These are big games tonight for DB.
Yeah, and it really is a resume game for both teams no matter what happens, just because you expect both RPIs to be really high. But yeah, maybe in the grand scheme of things that the Patriots aren't going to have as tough as a schedule down the stretch. So yeah, these Tuesday games become vitally important. And to have someone like Borberg able to go, I mean, it gives you a huge lift.
Scott Butler in the number 8 spot. Well, this might be Borberg's final hitter. You've got activity brewing in the pen. You're going to get a chance to get 5 innings tonight out of Borberg. What a night it's been. For the junior right-hander from Kansas, here's the delivery. Just inside for a ball.
He just fired a pretty nasty splitter and then tried to follow it up, so good recognition from Mudler. Wouldn't be surprised he goes right back to that.
He struck out 6 tonight. Here comes the 1-2. Flared foul. Jason walked to begin the game. Then he got the double play ball. Then he walked Gamble, gave up the base hit to Carmichael. But since that strikeout of Sam Christensen, he has just been superb. Completely dominant in his outing. The 1-2. Tried the backdoor breaking ball. Now at 2-2. Got the making of a really solid rotation. Weekend with what you've got in Bucknam, Elwanger, and Schwade, and now here's Borberg's 2-2. High and away, now at 3-2.
You're still ramping up, too, with James Elwanger. He's went 4 innings on Saturday. Stuff looked electric.
The 3-2. Another foul ball. Good at bat by Mudler. It's another transfer in this lineup from the JUCO ranks. Northwest Florida College. Grew up in Johns Creek, Georgia. Big, strong kid at 6'2", 220. He's battling Borberg at 3-2 again. Borberg wins the battle, and he has set down 13 in a row. 7 strikeouts as Ryan Borberg has been magnificent tonight. 5 shutout for Ryan. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. 9-0 DBU. Play ball after the leadoff walk, and then the big strikeout of Sam Christensen after runners were first and second. And then since then, it's been the Chait Krause show.
Yeah, he has shown some power to right field, not once, but twice. The second one, no doubt. Really, the first one wasn't either. Both of them smoked. And then Michael Tatalo later in that 5-run 4th inning, he decided he wanted to get in on the act. His first of the season. So 3 home runs from a pair of players who had not had a home run coming in. Yeah, power, I guess, is contagious. 9-0 the lead, and a new pitcher coming on the mound here for Oklahoma. Gavin Jones, who came on in relief of Cade Crossland. He gives up 3 runs on 3 hits, goes just a third of an inning. That out he picked up was on a strikeout, and there you see Josh Bowden, who gets his action tonight.
Yeah, Bowden is 6'3", 193-pound sophomore. Grew up in Orange, Texas. He came to OU from Texas A&M. He only made a couple of relief appearances last year for the Aggies. So this is a young arm, a sophomore, that I think they can develop under Skip Johnson. Great pitching mind. And Bowden, his last outing Sunday against Cal State Northridge, worked an inning in 2/3, did not give up a run. 3 of the 4 runs that he gave up on the season came against Texas Southern in 2/3 of an inning of work last Tuesday. So he's going to see the bottom third of this Patriot order, starting with Jake Bennett. Jason Bowden's first pitch to Bennett's inside. Bowden throws a sinker, slider, and changeup. Next pitch upstairs, and Bennett in the driver's seat at 2-0. Bennett tonight's walked and struck out. Still windy conditions here. 60 degrees at first pitch. The wind has not calmed down at all. About 28 to 30 miles per hour. Gust at times up to 45. Bennett now at 3-0.
Really makes what we've seen from Borberg today even more impressive. These are not easy conditions to pitch in.
3-0. Bennett waits. Here it is. There's a strike. Activity in the Patriot bullpen. Got a lefty that's throwing. Figure that that's the final pitch that you're going to see from Borberg. 5 shutout tonight against number 13th ranked team in the country. Only 1 hit tonight given up by Borberg. There's Mason Peters. A guy that's essentially got closer stuff. I think that's a role that's you're just really auditioning for right now as Bennett sprays it foul.
Yeah, Peters had himself a save, but what about what Nick Bond was able to do on Sunday? 10 pitches, 10 strikes, 1, 2, 3 in the ninth.
You seem to have 3 guys that could be in that role. Ashton Branson's the other one that kind of comes to mind.
He has popped as well. Just jumped off the page.
That is hammered foul. Look out. Yeah, Branson, boy, he has got swing and miss stuff. 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, only 1 walk. So you got a bullpen that you're starting to figure out some roles. Here's 3-2 again to Bennett, and he takes strike 3. He thought it was inside. A.J. Wendell rings him up. And after falling behind 3-0, Jason Bowden gets a strikeout.
They looked like would have been his changeup. It comes in at 89 miles an hour, just grabbing that inside corner. I don't know if Bennett initially was upset he didn't swing or if he thought that ball was too far in. I think that look tells you he thought it was way too far inside, but I'm fine with that goal.
Swinney bounces it. Willis, the throw, gets a good strong throw from Dawson Willis. Swinney's retired on the first pitch.
Yeah, reading body language, Ryan Borberg is going to be done. He's got some hugs there in the dugout, and he's got a fellow pitcher chatting with him, which would show you that his day is done. And yeah, you did more than enough today, Mr. Borberg.
So here's Cody Graybeck. Cody 0 for 2. He struck out, grounded out. Graybeck in the air to left, right into the teeth of that wind, and gambles there and makes the grab. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. It's the first time tonight that DBU has gone down in order. So we're on our way to
final 13 batters that he faces, and he is in line to try and pick up the win as his day is done. And really against LSU last week and then Oklahoma this week, he's looked outstanding on the mound. Mason Peters takes over after 5 innings, no runs, a hit, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts from Ryan Borberg.
And now Mason Peters And the numbers on Mason, the 5.87 ERA in his 5th appearance, 7 2 third innings, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .267 off of Mason. This is a big-time arm right here for DBU. The fastball has got a lot of ride, and the velo will be here somewhere in the mid-90s, but the curveball is the plus pitch for Mason. Transfer from Temple College. He's also got a slider. We saw him on Saturday against Oral Roberts on the road, and he went an inning and 2/3, and he struck out 4. Had a great outing that day. He had James Owinger go 4 shutout. Jared Jenkins got the baseball, 3 1/3, which Jared just gave up 1 run, kind of ran into trouble late, handed the ball to Mason, and Peters was on cruise control.
Yeah, since he had a rough outing against UTRGV, it's been 3 straight scoreless. I think Peters would even tell you, look at the walk to strikeout numbers. He's got the 8 strikeouts, but the 6 walks is something that he definitely wants to tame down.
Number 9 hitter in Dawson Willis. Willis, a transfer from LSU Eunice. Patriots know a thing or two about LSU Eunice. Got Liam Watt on the team. In fact, they were teammates. Won a national title last year. Division II junior college ranks where Willis was the defensive player of the year. Well, Patriots had a great outfit. Rivertown was from LSU Eunice. I think he was a gold glover from LSU Eunice when he came to DB, part of that 21 team that we saw some highlights of earlier tonight. Swing and a miss. There's the curve from Peters. 1 gone, and it's 14 in a row retired by this Patriot pitching staff now.
You mentioned that curveball is the plus pitch, and just look at this break. Straight down towards that back foot as Dawson Willis gone to start this this inning. You mentioned Rivertown. I saw an article came out. It just said, who are the prospects from every organization that have the coolest names, and River was on there for the Kansas City Royals.
Absolutely. We got him for 1 year. It was a magical year. He was the Patriots' leadoff man and drafted by the Royals. Could have come back for another year, but played some pro ball and is doing a great job in the Royals organization.
Such a force in that lineup.
This is Jason Walk, who reached on a base on balls in the first, and he was retired on a double play ball, and then he grounded out on what was a close play at first base. It was to the right side. He turned was a routine grounder into a bang-bang play. He was one of the top-rated infield prospects out of the state of Georgia. He's from Ackworth, Georgia, Harrison High School. Facing Peters, the Waco product. Fastball there at 93. He's got him at 2-2.
He's got a couple of pitches going right now, that fastball and the curveball. As we mentioned it, and it's almost too simple to say it, but he stays in the zone. It makes all the difference in the world.
Bounced up the middle again. It's going to be a tough play. Sweeney is make the throw, but not in time. And that breaks a streak of 14 in a row that Ryan Borberg and Mason Peters had set down. And he still gets soft contact. I don't think Mason Peters can be too upset. Just a tough play.
Yeah, Sweeney coming across the bag, and you can tell it took him just a second to get that ball out of his glove. I don't know if he would have had a chance anyways, because as we've seen, Jason Walk can really pick him up and put him down. So, yeah, first hit since the first inning for Oklahoma.
Pats have out hit OU 9-2 tonight. Strike 1 to Willits. Guy that's been a starter since he stepped foot on campus last year, young sophomore. Hit .268 with 10 home runs as a freshman last year. Blew that one by.
A weird swing from Willits. Almost like he got 75% of the way through it and then wanted to stop.
Peters has got him at 2 strikes. Here's his 0-2, and he strikes him out on 3 pitches. Comes right back to that hammer curveball. 2 gone in the 6th.
Well, we are seeing Mason Peters, his confidence grow every outing. And since that day a couple of weeks ago against UTRGV, he has looked sharp. Maybe the sharpest that we've seen him so far tonight.
So it's Trey Gamble now. Well, the key is to get ahead, and he has done that to all 4 batters. It's Gamble right now, the junior college All-American at Salt Lake Community College last season out of Alpine, Utah at the plate. Peters gets the benefit of the call from A.J. Wendell. Gamble thought it was a touch high, and he's gone 0-2.
Yeah, that Oklahoma dugout is all over home plate umpire A.J. Wendell right now.
Peters strikes out the side. Down and away to Gamble, got him to chase. And it's 6 shutout for this Patriot pitching staff tonight. Peters dialed in. Pats lead 9-0 as we head to the home half of the 6th. Humphries, Jay, and Poole due up. Top of the order against Jason Bowden. As Hump takes down and away for a ball. Humphries had the double back in the 4th inning. Double down the line. Like a trick shot. As he just punched down the line.
If you could perfect that with that type of spin, it'd be pretty dangerous. Sort of like a slap softball hitter.
Right. 2-0. Now, Hump had the big moment last year against Oklahoma. Here he grounds it to the short. And it's fumbled by Willits. What's been that kind of night for Oklahoma. Although that's the first error, it's just everything that could go wrong has. And there is the first error of the night. Humphries is on.
You know, Willits knew that he had to get rid of it quickly, and his feet just kicked out from under him.
Here's Grant J. Am I wrong? Are they ruling that a hit?
They are.
Swing and a miss. Wow. Okay. All right, Willits. I guess he, well, he'll get the benefit of that. He won't have an error going to his ledger. He has 3 on the season. Here's Jay, takes inside for a ball. I was talking about Humphries having the big moment last year for DBU at the grand slam. It was a 6-6, or excuse me, a 7-7 ball game in the 7th inning, and Hump had the grand slam. Tonight they won't need a grand slam. You're hoping they don't.
You hope.
Jay the air down the right field line. This is a long run. Christensen's going to get out of play. The wind just blows it foul.
You know, a special moment for Hump last year, and a year that overall never felt completely healthy and wasn't himself. Able to have that moment with the big grand slam.
Jay, right center field, way back, gone. And he moves into second all-time in career home runs in DBU baseball history. It's his 7th of the year, 49th of his career. 11-0 DBU and a rout in the bottom of the 6th.
And all 4 home runs have gone the other way for DBU. This one, 103 off the bat of Grant J. Yeah, that's 7th of the year. They had a pair of guys coming in without home runs, and Kraus and Dalla, who end up leaving the yard. And now, a man who's hit plenty of them now, number 49 in his career, goes deep.
Boy, DBU is putting on a show tonight. And this has been, you're going to be waiting for that breakout moment offensively. 13 home runs coming in tonight, averaging 8 runs a ball game. They're putting up good numbers, but this has been one of the most prolific power hitting teams in the country year after year. It's early. The weather's cooler this time of year, but and you could look at the wind tonight, but none of these have been wind aided. They have just been one shot after another.
Yeah, for Grant J, the one he just hit was the softest hit ball that left the yard at 103.
11-0 DBU, bottom of the 6th. Poole is 1 for 2. Singled, he scored twice. I mean, doing this against an Oklahoma team that has won their first 11. This is going to be a good Sooners baseball team.
As we talked about, it's not just against teams that haven't had success. They've already beaten a couple of top 10 teams and had some resume builders already.
It's gone 3-1 to Poole. Baseball is a funny sport. I mean, you know, how many times have we seen DBU on the other end of something like this? It happens, but this is what I think you're expecting from the Patriots this year. This can be a treacherous lineup to have to navigate through. It's a veteran lineup, and they can hurt you in a lot of ways. It's not just the power.
It's a team that you feel everybody in the lineup has some protection behind them, especially when you look at 1 through 6. Jake Bennett has shown signs of outstanding pop. Swinney's just working his way back in. Graybeck can be your Swiss Army knife there at the bottom of the order.
Strikes out Poole, 94. First out. Well, here's Chayton Krause, and watch what he's doing today. All opposite field, and the cuts that he's getting. See the power from Chayton. That's the first. Here's the second. Both of those elevated and over the fence. And here he line drive shot. That one gets in the right field in a hurry. You said it was the hardest hit ball he's hit all night.
Well, the first pitch that he saw, the first swing there, inside, the other two, a bit softer on the outside, and really just with his swing and his power to go the other way, it's really special. And I think Bowden right now is having a problem with the wind and staying on the mound.
Krause has got 6 RBIs tonight. He was looking for 7 on one swing.
He stood at first after his 2 RBI single last time up and kind of just put both hands in the air as if to say, finally, stringing them together. And you say, finally, look at the numbers.
Yeah, 362. I mean, he came in tonight hitting 318, 11 RBIs. We're just kind of waiting on the power to come about.
And he tied Grant J for team lead in RBIs for about an inning.
It's a career high in RBIs for Chayton. Today with the 6, they appeal. Scott Chester said no. His previous high was 5. That was against Louisiana Tech in the championship of the Conference USA tournament. And tied again, 2-1.
The crowd's not happy, but there's nothing intentional here. Just trying to pitch a guy inside because you saw what he did with 2 pitches either at the heart of the plate or on the outside part of the plate. So why not try to bang him inside?
On the corner, says A.J. Wendell, 2-2. In the air to right field. Down the line. Could this be his 3rd of the night if it stays fair to just slices foul? Krause making a bid for 3 home runs in a ball game.
I don't think there's any way that one was gonna stay fair with that wind pushing it to the right.
Last time that's been done, Miguel Santos, June 3rd, 23 against Oklahoma State in the Stillwater Regional. Inside again, appeal. Didn't go, and it's 3-2.
Now you can see the plan of attack. Keep it on the hands.
Got him. Went upstairs with it at 95. Look, Bowden's got good life in that fastball.
Yeah, he does. He's hit 94 a couple of times. That's the hardest ball he's thrown. And no small task tonight to retire Chayton Krause. That's a really well-placed fastball at 95.
So now it's Michael Dalla. He got his first home run back in the 4th. A blast to right center field. Dottie kind of had a slow start to this year. Look, he's been a guy that's just every year of his career has hit. 372 as a freshman at Northwestern State. 345 last year in his first year at DBU as the Conference USA Newcomer of the Year. And here he's hit on that elbow guard. Dottie to first base. Warner Ballpark crowds all over Jason Bowden right now.
And A.J. Wendell comes out and makes sure Dottie goes down to first. No extracurricular. And I don't think any of this is intentional. I think he's just trying to pitch inside. I get while it's frustrating for fans, but it's kind of just what you got to do as a pitcher.
Yeah, we had a pretty good crowd tonight. All things considered, with the weather, chilly, windy.
1,178, the official
That's great.
attendance.
Skip Johnson out of the dugout. They're going to go to the pit. And so Dalla will be at first. Narrett will be at the plate. When we come back to Dallas, where it's all DBU tonight in this clash between top 25 teams, 11-0 Patriots here in the 6th.
Dissipated for Grant J. He had a 4-game stretch where he hit 6 home runs and then goes right center field today. And that's going to be the end of the line for Jason Bowden after hitting Michael Dalla. The line for Bowden, an inning and 2/3, 2 runs thus far, a couple of hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And it's a lefty, Bo Sampson, out of the bullpen.
Yeah, Sampson, left-hander at 6'6", 226, another Utah product. Is that a St. George, Utah? Came to Oklahoma from Salt Lake Community College. And Sampson's making just his 2nd appearance, 2 innings that he's thrown. .67 average against the rangy left-hander. He'll face Joey Narrett left on left. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch high, didn't offer. His only other outing, February 26th against Texas Southern, which he threw the 2 shutout innings. Now 1-1 to Joey, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Couple of base hits. Patriots have out-hit OU 11-2.
You mentioned offensively, but also Oklahoma had the 6th best ERA in the country coming in.
Yeah. It's the 2nd straight week that DBU has faced a pitching staff with a top 10 ERA. When they saw LSU last week, LSU's ERA was number 4. They were at 146. And tonight OU coming in at 241. That's gonna be elevated tonight after what DBU's done.
And probably, if you look at the weather forecast and then you look at the home runs hit to right, you can make your own assumptions. But if you've watched, they've been balls that have been smoked. And I'm not sure. The wind made them look better. I don't know if the wind pushed any of them out.
Narrett staying alive here at 2-2. Well, Ryan Borberg, big part of the story tonight. 5 shutout. Mason Peters has come on in the 6th. You'll see Peters in the 7th. Joey's worked it full.
And the 2 hits, he went deep in his at-bat before striking out in the 4th. I think early in his career, it was, I'm going to swing as hard as I can, and if I hit it, it's going to go. More of a complete hitter now.
Runner goes, and it's outside. Narrett gets the walk, so Pats have had Dalla hit by the pitch. Joey gets to first on the walk, and now you've got first and second for Jake Bennett.
Yeah, really just the 4th walk for Oklahoma. They've struck out 10 batters, so that ratio you're okay with, but it's just what the Patriots have done with the 11 base hits and so many extra base hit opportunities.
Bennett's walked and struck out twice. Sampson's first offering comes inside on him. Bennett with nothing cheap about a swing that he takes.
I'm telling you, he goes up there with intent to do some harm.
If he runs into one, just look out. Again, 438-foot shot against LSU last Wednesday. The most runs given up by Oklahoma this year. You have to go do some digging. Last time they gave up an 11-run ball game. That's low and inside. It was against Texas, April 28th last year. They lost 12-10. It was a doubleheader. They played a 7-inning game in that one in Norman. 3-2 now to Jake. They'll be off with the pitch. Dalla at second, Narrett at first. Here it comes. It's inside, and he walks Bennett. His second walk of the night. You know, for a guy who swings the bat as hard as Jake Bennett does, you wouldn't think that he's a guy that draws a lot of walks, but you look at him now in limited time as he's got himself into the lineup now, 6 walks already.
Yeah, and he came in with only the 3 strikeouts. So he has struck out twice today, but he's also walked twice. You mentioned in the last time that Oklahoma gave up double-digit runs. Patriots on track. If they can keep this, it would be their largest win over Oklahoma in the Division I era. Ryan Wilson, our statistician, lets us know that.
Note, yeah.
May the 3rd of 2022, DBU won 10-1 over Oklahoma, and that's the biggest margin of defeat.
Provided something just wacky doesn't happen, this is one that will, one, it's great for your resume, and then 2, it's going to catch some eyes tonight when you look at this score.
And you hope that it just brings confidence up and down that that lineup and really just carry that into a series against the Raging Cajuns.
Now 1-2. This is, I think, without question, the toughest stretch right now for DBU. You've got the midweeks. We saw LSU last week, Oklahoma tonight. You're going to see Oklahoma State next Tuesday, and then TCU the following. He strikes Swinney out with the bases loaded to end the inning. But the Pats keep pouring it on. 2-run blast from Jay, 49th of his career. 11-0 DBU headed to the late innings.
11-0 Patriots, the Oklahoma Sooners, their first year in the SEC. On the baseball side of things, here's those SEC standings, and boy, there are some juggernauts. You got 3 unbeaten squads there at the top: Alabama, Oklahoma, Tennessee. There's 11 teams with only 1 loss or less. It's really the toughest conference in college baseball.
Yeah, you can't fit all the teams on that graphic. There's so many of them. And yeah, you just look at the teams that have just the 1 loss. How solid this the SEC. Of course, you're not playing most teams in the SEC aren't going to play a real challenging schedule because they know that's coming. It's like every weekend series is an Omaha-type series. So they don't have to load up. Although I think the thing that's respectable about Oklahoma is, hey, let's go play in Round Rock.
Yeah.
They get invited there. You get a chance to play Oregon State and Virginia. You get some big wins there. LSU was in Frisco this past week.
There's Easton Carmichael, who takes strike 1. Yeah, you see those teams make those trips to the round robin tournaments. It's Carmichael at 0-1. And the 3 games that Oklahoma has played against a team with a winning record, they've all been ranked opponents. Virginia and obviously DBU, also Oregon State. Now on a ball and 2 strikes. We've just been informed as well there's a 10-run rule in effect for tonight. So
that's why you saw Mason Peters on the mound.
Yeah, if the Patriots finish this here, no runs, or I guess with only 1 run coming across, this ball game will be over. It'll be an early night. And it would be a statement win. Peters at 1-2. He struck out 3 in the 6th inning. Carmichael stays alive. And DBU got the 3 games against Louisiana coming up. Oklahoma is getting ready to take on that Sam Houston team that we just talked about. 1-2, upstairs 2-2. Not that Oklahoma's going to have any problems with strength of schedule, but I always think teams need to get credit for scheduling based on what you think the RPI is going to be. And so this week, DBU and then Sam Houston followed by Louisiana Tech, that's a really tough stretch in non-conference play for Oklahoma. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Mason Peters, all 4 outs have been strikeouts. That one on a 93-mile-an-hour heater. So 1 away here in the 7th, 2 outs away from a run rule victory. And hey, you got a chance to see the Patriots 3 games this weekend. Reagan Ratcliffe on the call in Louisiana. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is a middle of a 9-game stretch where the Patriots are playing teams that were in the NCAA tournament last year. Louisiana a little bit down to start the year, but it's always a tough ball club. Christensen here, 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, to end conference play, it's a Conference USA schedule for Oklahoma. DBU, Sam Houston, La Tech, and then that gauntlet begins. They start on the road at South Carolina March 14th. There's a strike, 1-2. And there's just not a weekend where you can take a deep breath. 1-2, Mason Peters. He'll take a deep breath. It's upstairs, 2-2. Ryan Borberg, 5 innings of shutout baseball, just the 1 base hit, and turn it over here to Mason Peters. The break even. That one's popped up. Play is made, 2 down. And Kyle Branch is the last hope for the Sooners to extend this ball game.
This would be the largest deficit loss for Oklahoma since they lost to Oklahoma State, 14-5 last year early in the season. That was in Norman.
Branch fouls this one off. The Patriots as well. This would be their largest win over a ranked team, at least in terms of margin of victory, since the 2018 season. They beat number 22 Sam Houston. I feel like we're just stomping all over Sam Houston tonight, but they beat them 21-3. I don't know if you remember that game, but
Yeah.
that was obviously the home runs and the offense, but that was Trevor Kahn's coming out party there in 2018.
Ended up being the pitcher of the year in the Missouri Valley Conference that season.
Came in, bases loaded, nobody out, big smile on his face, got out of it and never stopped. 1 strike away is Mason Peters. Peters going to ask for Jay to go back through, or excuse me, for the pitch comm to send the signs one more time. At 1-2. Here's the pitch. He struck him out swinging. Curveball down, and Mason Peters with 2 shutout innings to end it. A run rule victory for the Patriots as they knock off a top 10 team in Oklahoma.
Well, you never know. And tonight, facing a top 10 team in OU, the Sooners had won 11 straight. Felt like this was going to be a ball game that, with the weather conditions, it could be wild, but you felt like it might be a slugfest. It was a one-sided slugfest tonight. All DBU start to finish. We'll visit with Patriots head coach Dan Hefner in a moment. Our player of the game, Chayton Krause, as all Pats tonight as they get to 9-3 in their most impressive win of the season tonight, without question.